Now, I might be getting my dates wrong on this. It was June 2009-ish when Seeing Real became a thing. We don't talk about Seeing Real. Seeing Real was sad. Sad. Seeing Real was sad. We lost a lot of things. A lot of time slots were transitioned out. Things things got kicked off, and it just scheduling and everything they had, it just like blanked out, and it's like this is irrelevant to what we're trying to do now. And then we had the Cartoon Networks go play, and then all the awards things. Eventually, I'm not gonna say eventually. I'm going to say Cartoon Network in the 2000s era, late 2000s era, you know, past 2005, going 2007 and on, they were basically emulating what Nickelodeon was in the early 90s. Because at that point in time, Nickelodeon, they weren't not only showing cartoons, Rugrats, Hey Arnold, Doug, they were also had their own game shows, their own real world type of deal that was going on in their own theme parks. Nickelodeon used to be a very large thing back in the day when I was a kid. Legends of the Hidden Temple, all that, the Amanda Show. Nickelodeon had a lot. Keenan and Kel was one of my favorite ones. Wait, no, was Keenan and Kel Nickelodeon? I might be getting my networks mixed up. Pardon that one. But at that point in time, Cartoon Network was going in a weird direction, and they alienated a lot of viewers. I was personally disappointed. Around 2010, some of our older shows started to return, and they gave them different time slots. Codename Kids Next Door, My Gym Partner's a Monkey, Dexter's Laboratory, Powerpuff Girls, and we lost a few more. We lost Courage the Cowardly Dog and Ed, Edd and Eddy in 2011, which they replaced by rerunning old episodes of Two Stupid Dogs. Two Stupid Dogs were my jam. A little bit later, they returned a few more shows. Chowder, Camp Lazlo, The Flintstones, Ed, Edd and Eddy's was running reruns. This is around, the Amazing World of Gumball time, and Amazing World of Gumball is coming up and it's becoming a thing. Cartoon Network revives its Toon Planet. That block like they had Fridays. Friday night around, say it was like 4 or 5 o'clock. All the kids getting off of school, and it'd be like bam, back to back to back to back to back to back cartoons. And every so often they would do this thing where they do a promotional showing, of I'm not going to say a pilot episode of a cartoon, that they want to bring into the fold. And they would let the viewers vote on which cartoon they wanted to bring in. Adventure Time won, and Adventure Time was brought in. And a few others. I'll get into that one a little bit later. That's, where the dynamic shift in art style started happening. Okay. We have some eras. Basically, when the episodes and the cartoons and the shows were transitioning between each other, there would be these short clips and snippets of things. Transitional animations and whatever's going on in between that time slot. It's like 1 to 2 minutes, a couple of minutes. So, around 2004 to 2006, that's when the Seeing era was. That's when we started seeing a lot of the downfall and just the complete expunging of, a lot of the older cartoons. 2006, 2007 is when a lot of the newer things started coming in. 2007 to 2008 is when we generally lost just about everything. Cartoon Network generally lost a lot of viewership. I'm not gonna lie to you, it was bad. It was bad. Cartoon Network started dropping in the rankings. They finally got the idea to bring back Toonami. That helped a little bit. Didn't save them. It helped. Quite frankly, I only watch Cartoon Network for a few handful of shows right now. Steven Universe, Adventure Time is ending, We Bear Bears, and the Toonami block. That's about it. I'm just gonna stick this in here. All right. I'm hoping to get this uploaded before tomorrow on Sunday, or edited or whatever. But Toonami's great. Y'all should watch it. Fooly Cooley Season 2, June 2nd. Okay? Get on it. Set your reminders. Set your recordings. Do what you got to do. Get it done. But, where was I? I completely forgot where I was at. But, yeah, we lost a lot. That was also around the time of Maguzi. That was also another intern block that took over basically Toonami's previous time slot before it got moved to the end of the night, before they transitioned into Adult Swim. Maguzi took that over. That's where Code Lyokos and a lot of slice of lifey action shows, were thrown into the mix. And the Dragon Quest. Wait, no, not Dragon Quest. Blue Dragon. Yeah, Blue Dragon was also in there for a stint. I'm going purely off of my brain right now. That's when we started seeing a shift in, the cartoons themselves and the viewers. The newer generations were coming up. And because all these subsequent other cartoons and other content were completely expunged, a lot of these younger kids didn't get exposure to it. They primarily got, the Adventure Times, the regular shows, the total dramas, the Batman Brave and the Bold, Ben 10 Ultimate Alien, Symbiotic Titan, Generator Rex. Generator Rex and Ben 10 was a good one. They had a little bit of a crossover thing that happened every so often. This one crossover thing that happened, it was pretty cool. Secret Saturdays, all that stuff going on at that time. Okay? And you can clearly see in the content of what was going on how much of it, how slow this transition was happening. Adventure Time got kind of dark sometimes, and some of the episodes really made you think. While it was more, each episode in its own was its own event at its own point in time, they also started making transitions into more episodic adventures, 2-part, 3-part stories, 1 or 2 movies, and that worked for Adventure Time. But as children started getting older, they started transitioning more, and more new people were brought in. That wasn't working a whole lot. Adventure Time is going to be ending very, very soon at this current point in time, along with a few other shows. I'm not entirely sure on the status of We Bear Bears, because that was originally, a little comic strip that turned into its own thing, and I'm glad it did. We Bear Bears is pretty good. It's a very good example of a lighthearted slice of life cartoon. It has its moments, but at the same time, it takes itself seriously without putting so much emphasis on content. Like, what was it? There was an entire episode dedicated to Ice Bear going out to the store to get some stuff on his robot, and that turned into a whole... Ice Bear has this whole hidden secret past where he knows Russian and all this other crazy stuff. It's a funny little episode. You gotta watch it. We lost a lot. Okay, I guess I should go into the whole where I'm coming from and why I included Ben 10 and Steven Universe and all those other things. Like I said, the shift happened They had no idea. The younger generation had no idea of these other cartoons that existed before. They were only taking what they were given at that point in time, so they didn't know this. That art style and that type of writing and storytelling is what they knew. Around this transitional period, Star versus the Forces of Evil came out. Gravity Falls came out. Now, Gravity Falls, it's a little slice of lifey, but it aired more on the side of mystery that it blew up into its own fandom and its own massive thing, right? It's the writer based it off, events from off of him and his twin sister when they were children. So, good job on you, buddy. You did an excellent job. I loved Gravity Falls. But if you take a very good close look at their faces, you can see the beginning of that whole cow art meme where it started from. Yeah. If you compare that with The Amazing World of Gumball, Steven Universe, their overall facial structures and nondescript body types are very, very similar. That's where that came from. And that it's turning into a meme, people. It's turning into a meme. There's nothing you can do to stop it. It's going to be, I don't know if it's going to be gloriously funny, but it's happening. There's nothing you can do. Now, let's get to the whole what upsets me most about Thundercats Roar and Cartoon Network in general. Now, what was it? Let's say it was about I'd say it happened about 2009ish. They started purging a lot of, the older stuff, including anime. So, anime's getting purged. The only thing they realistically have left is Pokemon. Cartoon Network has Pokemon since it was like 1990, 96, 98, 96-ish, 97, 98. Somewhere around that time, Pokemon, they've had Pokemon. Then Pokemon transitioned to the WB Saturday morning block on Channel 11, when they had their Saturday morning cartoons. Okay? Bam. That was around the time of Pokemon Advanced. Bam. Goes back to Cartoon Network. They lose it again. Comes back to Cartoon Network and stays, and every subsequent bit of Pokemon is on Cartoon Network. Until Cartoon Network decides to do something very, very ignorant in my mind. Kids love Pokemon. A lot of younger children still love Pokemon and still love to watch the episodes, and they love to watch the older episodes. I personally know one young guy about 11 years old. He loves Pokemon. Pokemon is like his life. Okay. What they were doing is they were taking episodes of Pokemon and they were airing it at about 6 in the morning. Now, I don't know about you, but what kid is up 6 a.m. in the morning to watch an episode of Pokemon? I mean, I did it when I was a kid, but that wasn't Pokemon. That was Metabots. I loved Metabots. Metabots was my jam, and it wasn't 6 in the morning. It was about 9 a.m. Okay? It's about 9 a.m. It's about 9 a.m. to watch Metabots. And that was on ABC Family, and there was a lot of Saturday morning cartoon channels back in the day. Okay? Okay. But Cartoon Network's been messing up for a long time when it comes to their content. That's why they're in the position they are in right now. Then they try to make the push to, bring forth their own content, even though they've legitimately stripped themselves of all of their content. Doesn't that don't make no sense, right? This is building up to my point. Now, if you go on YouTube and you can go to Cartoon Network's YouTube page, there's a few pilot cartoons that they have. Infinity Train, in my mind, was very good. There's a second one about the life of a young teenage monster. Very slice of lifey, kind of campy, but it's all right. Now, in their push to get their own content, they wiped out all of their previous